I think you do look familiar.
Welcome, Steve.
Steve, tell us a little bit about your interest in photography. I know you have something to do with one of the someplace over, what is it, in Mequon?
Well, the Menomonee Nature Preserve is I do some volunteer work. I know Jeff from Jeff Gilardi from Schlitz, and I'm doing some work at Schlitz volunteering, and some volunteering work at Menomonee Nature Preserve. But I've been a kind of primarily a bird photographer, focused it in the last year and a half or so. Actually, probably 2 years now, since I met Nancy at a training class 2 years ago. But I'm looking forward to getting into something else too. And
Okay.
this seems like this club doesn't just focus on one activity. You guys are off doing a lot of other stuff. And I attended one of your meetings about 2 years ago, just as a guest. So I'm looking forward to a little more active club.
Well, welcome aboard.
But I'm shooting Canon mirrorless now. I've moved into an R6 and having fun with that.
Right. Are there any other people in the list here that is this your first meeting?
That would be me, Nancy.
Okay. Well, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
And your name again?
Nancy Meyer.
Okay. And what interests you in photography?
Well, I do mostly birds right now, wildlife, my grandkids. So
All right.
that covers it usually.
Well, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Have you been a photographer for a long time or just fairly new to it?
No, I'm kind of new to it. I would say I've been shooting on and off for maybe 4 years, but not seriously till about the last 2 years.
All right. Well, this group is made up of some very talented people and some fairly new people as well. So feel free anytime you have a question, just raise that hand and we'll jump in and try to help you as we go through the meetings.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right. Well, let's begin with some of the topics that I have lined out. We've got through the new members. Want everybody to know, especially the new folks, that most anything we cover tonight, you will find in the newsletter that comes out before we have our meetings. So it's kind of sometimes handy to have that newsletter with you as we reference dates and topics and things of that nature to give you an idea of some of the things that are going on and some of the things that down the road that will be happening. I think Ellen, I think you've heard her talking a little bit here. She does a phenomenal job with this newsletter. It's an award winner, by the way. She's once, is that right, Ellen?
I'm working my way to the top. So far,
right.
You may just call me honorable, but I'm trying to work my way to the top of the of the ladder. And I think we can probably get there.
Now, Ellen and I just had a little bit of a conversation the other day, just a couple of notes, maybe about the possibility of including in the newsletter a calendar of sorts that would make it easier for us as we go through the month to keep track of deadlines and things of this nature. Ellen, have you been able to give that any more thought?
No, I've been having a technology problem with Apple Cash, but I think I've sorted it out, and I'm sorry, but to me that was a little more pending than a calendar.
Would anybody in the group here see an advantage to having some kind of a calendar built into the newsletter that would give us an overview of what's happening during the month and further down the line? Sid, you're on mute. You want to say anything about that?
Here comes that chipmunk again.
Sid, that's not coming through very well. Sorry, your microphone's not working very good.
I think we understood him though.
Yeah, I think, I'd say so. Anyone else want to make a comment? Okay. Well, we'll look at that as we head further down the line, but I do think that's at least from my perspective, just having a calendar with an overview of deadlines would help out me in particular quite a bit. Moving on to another topic. I think the next item we want to talk about are dues. If you notice on the last page of the last newsletter, there is a form that needs to be filled out and turned in. Can somebody, can you give us an update on where we are with people paying their dues?
We're pretty good with all of that. I've got, I want to say maybe 3 or 4 yet that haven't paid, that paid last year,
Okay,
but we're pretty well caught up.
so the deadline is November 1, if I recall. All right. Well, that's good news. So any of the new people that are showing up here, the dues are $20 a year, $25 for a family. If you have a copy of that newsletter, you need to send in that last page to Pat, so you don't get dropped off our list.
And if you don't have a copy of that newsletter, could you please send me your email and I will make sure that you get a copy of that newsletter.
Sounds great. I don't know if Don is here tonight. Gorsuch?
No,
Don, are you here?
I haven't seen him yet. No.
Okay. I think Don's going to be the person that's going to help with the Menomonee Falls Rec Department photo of the month. Is that correct, Jeff?
Yep, and I believe he has the first new photo up. And
Okay.
it's taken years down. That's been there for, I guess, a year.
I think a little bit more than a year. So
Yeah.
if you don't know my name in Menomonee Falls, you probably will if you go to the community center. I've never had so much publicity.
Yep, yep.
Those pictures, the max size is 16 by 20, and the smallest size is an 11 by 14 that Don will accept. Jeff, do you know how Don's going to be picking future pictures to put up?
I think it's whoever gets him photos, and then he'll just put them in the order that he gets them.
Okay.
So,
Well, we'll probably hear more from Don, maybe at the next meeting if he's available. When I picked mine up, he thought he would be able to make it tonight, but he wasn't sure.
yeah.
Okay.
Ellen, maybe we should get Don's name and email in the newsletter so people know
Oh, that's
how
a
to
good
contact
idea.
him.
All right. All right. Let's talk for a second about Facebook. After our 2 field trips, we had quite a bit of activity on there for the Home Bridge and what was the other one? Jeepers. Mine's gone blank. Anyway, we probably had a half a dozen, maybe 7 people that were posting pictures. And those 2 field trips, by the way, I think turned out rather well. We had a lot of activity, turned out some really great pictures from everyone that was there. But if you haven't been on that Facebook website, take a look in the newsletter. It gives the address where you can sign on. I think we have 20 or so people that are already listed on there, but I think there's only about maybe 6 people that are really participating. So if you're able and want to be active on that Facebook page, feel free to jump on there and post pictures of anything and everything. It's a good way to share before the meeting and see what's going on. And we love to see what everybody is up to and the type of pictures they're taking. I think, oh, by the way, on the newsletter, I wanted to mention, Ellen, the links that you have posted in there are very, very helpful as far as getting to other websites and items that you're talking about in there. They're all active and live. So as you're looking at the newspaper or the newsletter on your computer, just hit those links if you want to find out more about that specific topic. I've done newsletters in the past, way before the computer days, and this really makes things work out quite well.
I think I even fixed the YouTube video link this time too, so you can
Well, I've
see what
used
a
it,
meeting.
I've used them all this month and they all work perfectly and
Oh.
it's a real
Great.
benefit. The President's Challenge this month was fences and gates. We had 6 people, including myself, that submitted pictures. I'll be showing those a little bit later after Chris and Ian do their show tonight. But the upcoming challenge, as outlined in the newsletter, is fall colors. And I've got some pictures already from a couple of people, including Jeff Ewing. I think he's going to embarrass. He really put some beautiful pictures out there. So we won't see that until next month, Jeff, but that's a real good start. I think you,
Hey, Joe.
what, in Vilas County, is that where you were?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, you really pulled off some real wonders there. They're beautiful.
Thank
We'll
you.
see those in next month in November. But this month we'll be showing the fences and gate a little bit later in the program. Now we do have, let's see where it is. We have a President's Challenge. It's a one all challenge. We have an all show theme coming up for 2022. Is that right, Jeff? It's an all. We don't have a topic for that as of yet, do we?
For the December?
No,
one?
it's the I think it's
July?
called the all member show theme for 2022. It's where I think I think Jane puts together a slideshow for all the members. I don't think
Yeah, we have, I know we picked a topic for it. I don't know what it is, but
Yeah, I don't either. I didn't see it anywhere, so that's why I'm
I
raising
don't
the
think we
question.
picked a topic.
I
Yeah, I
don't
don't-
think we
oh,
picked
didn't
the
we?
topic
No,
either.
so,
Yeah, not quite
Yeah.
yet.
so
well, that
We have
shows
any
what I
idea-
remember.
yeah, we have any ideas for what we'd like to do for the one theme that goes throughout the entire year? And then as we get closer to the summer months, we will send pictures to hopefully Jane, who will then put together a slideshow representing pictures for that specific topic for the year. Anybody have any ideas of what we ought to do this time? I can barely remember what the last one was. I don't think I can, actually. Jane, are you there?
Around the neighborhood.
All right.
Yeah.
We,
Thank you, Ellen.
only because I've written it a number of times. And Jane would know because she had to put
Put
them
it
all
together.
together. Yeah.
So anybody want to come up with the a topic that we could work on? Any ideas from anyone?
Water.
Water? How about water in all shapes and forms? That's a good one. I think that's one of our monthly topics actually for the challenge. Yeah.
If you
Anyone
can
else?
hold for a moment, my wife is getting my notes from last month because I was sure that we had a topic.
Yeah, I can't recall what it was. I didn't see it anywhere in any of our notes.
All right. Let's see.
Yeah, I had thought we had picked something myself, but
Yeah, but I can't find it. I don't know where we would have put it.
You know what? In the meantime, while he's checking that, and I don't want to jump on you, but I get a little paranoid. I get a lot paranoid. I'm sorry. But we need people for the post-processing for
Yeah.
our program next month.
That's
Yeah.
next on my list.
And I'm sure that was next on your list, but
All right.
until I have names written down, I freak out. That's what I'm best at,
All
shooting.
I have a
Well, that-
suggestion for that topic, if you listen to
Okay.
that. Another photo club I was in basically assigned members to different communities around the area and asked them to provide 2 or 3 pictures that were sort of indicative of that community's values or architecture or some aspect of that community that's pretty obvious or famous, and then put those all together as sort of a compilation of what's happening in southeastern Wisconsin.
Oh,
Well, Chris, I think that's a great idea.
Interesting.
Okay, I just looked through my notes. No yearly challenge.
All right. Well, I think, Chris, I don't know about anybody else, but if we have no objections, I think that's a great topic for the year. Any
Basically-
comments from anyone? So
or
Chris,
does anybody have a different idea? So
yeah, good.
speak now or forever hold your peace, or at least until next year.
No, I think it's a great idea. One of my favorite things that we ever did in this club was the day in the life in Menomonee Falls. So we
Okay,
could,
yeah,
and we could do a day in the life of anywhere, so kind of along the same lines as what we did in Menomonee Falls. And maybe that would even be an idea for some field trips where we could
Yeah.
all meet in different towns each month or something and shoot pictures and make it a really big group
Okay.
project.
I think we've got ourselves a good topic here, and
sounds good.
so let's give it an official name. What shall we? A day in the life of X Town, and move on.
How about community spotlight or
Oh.
something highlight?
I like a community spotlight.
Yeah.
Everybody say it okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Community spotlight.
Ellen, I have a suggestion.
Okay.
You said send you an email for the people that want a copy of the newsletter. The new people that are viewing this may not have your email. You might want to put it in the chat.
And that was going to be another suggestion. You could put it in the chat and then I can get it to you. Or, yeah, that would probably be the easiest, simply from the standpoint that what I tend to do is sometimes people screw up my email address because they think the lowercase L is actually an I or a 1, and it's not. So if the new people are there, you know how to do the chat, right? Heck, if I know how to do it, other people must know how to do it.
Okay.
Great idea. Great idea. And,
Okay.
so do you think, Ellen, we can highlight in the next month's newsletter what our topic is, the community spotlight, and
Yep.
then
Yep.
make that the challenge for the year, and that'll be our topic.
Yep.
All right.
Anytime
Sounds
I
good.
don't have to do from the newsletter information, because I hate making stuff up to talk about. I'd rather have information. It's a lot easier to put together. So,
Now,
or pictures.
Ellen, your question a minute ago was regarding this post-processing topic.
Yes.
We would love to have 6 or 7 volunteers for the program in November, where a photo is provided to those volunteers, and then they take that picture and manipulate it any way they want to, and then present to the group here what they've done, how they've done it, to that photo to meet their expectations for what they could do with that photo. So right off the bat, we're looking for 6 or 7 volunteers for that project in next month's meeting. Now, Jeff, have you been able to pick out a photo that you would like people to
I have to
use?
work on that.
Okay.
But I will come up with something different for the group.
All right.
So it looks like I saw Peter Chow's hand pop up.
Okay.
Tony Schulist.
Tony, Peter.
Christopher Laudini.
Anyone else?
Ian.
Jim, I see Jim Karosky and Ian. We're at 5.
Looks like Bernard.
But who was it?
I see Bernard.
Okay.
Stand. So that should be good.
We got 6. How about
Yeah.
one more?
Well, you got me too, because I'll show what I'll end up doing since it's my image, but
All right.
unless you want one more, we have plenty of time.
Yeah.
So it's not like we get kicked out of our room these days. So if anybody else wants to volunteer, okay, John Wiley too.
John.
John Wiley. Okay.
I will work on coming up with some photo that
Will
will
you
give
then,
you guys
I
a
have to-
challenge.
I just want to say this is really an interesting project, and I've always and the only reason I didn't volunteer this time is because I'm going to be in Mexico, and God knows what the Wi-Fi is going to be like there. But I'm going to try to attend the meeting, so with drink, in hand. But nonetheless, it's always interesting to see exactly what how people handle it, how they crop it, how they all the new things that you can do with some of these images goes beyond the camera nowadays, which is giving you guys headaches for submission of photos to competitions. I understand that, but I find it rather exciting to see what can be done with layers and some of the new, I don't know, formats, scenes, schemes, whatever.
Yeah, I think it's one of the more interesting topics that we have throughout the year. So Jeff, will you be able to get all of these individuals that photo within the next week or so?
Yeah. I
Sounds
will
great.
look through my files and try to find something different.
Thank you, group. I can now sleep better.
All right. Glad to hear that.
Okay.
Let's see here. Oh, one other topic. We don't have a formal field trip this month or next month. The next field trip we have scheduled is Christmas lights in Cedarburg on December the 11th. So that gives us plenty of time to get used to the cold and the lights, and but that's where I think, Patty, are you heading that up as one of the individuals?
I am doing the program in the meeting,
Okay.
but Jane and Jesse are leading.
Oh, it's Jane and Jesse. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Well, that's a couple of months off. It gives us plenty of time to do what we have to do.
Can we do a field trip for this month?
Well, we've got a topic to work on for our community thing. So I don't know if you want to do a joint a field trip, but what would you like to do, if any?
Oh, heck, we could just pick a town and show up and go shooting. Where's a good place for to get good fall photography?
You'd have to go, well, we're probably in the middle of it, pretty close.
Yeah.
It also depends on how far people want to go too.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
We could show up in your driveway, Joe.
Yeah, you could do that. Welcome aboard. Yeah, there's plenty of leaves right now.
Maybe we could have a cookout too.
Yeah. Or we could do the kickoff in Menomonee Falls. That would be easy.
Okay. I was down at Fort Atkins here a couple of days ago, and that's a nice little town to do some photos of maybe something like that.
Yeah, I've been there before. It was nice.
Yeah. Sid, did you have something to say there? I saw your name pop up. Maybe not. Okay.
Well, there are pumpkin places out by, Sid was asking, is there a pumpkin place to go to? Bossy's on County Q in Colgate will have pumpkins. They also have a corn maze and a number of stuff.
Silver Spring Pumpkin Farm, it's a smaller farm.
Okay.
But we were just there this weekend, and they have a nice collection of pumpkins and gourds. It's right off of Silver Spring.
And
Yeah, and
Creekside
Silver
is
Spring. You'd have to look
nice.
it up. I can't remember the intersection, but
Yeah,
it's
It's
nice because it's just easy to get in and out of. Bassie's costs
Okay.
money to go there, and it's a little crazy, but if you
yeah,
want
it
more
is.
action,
Is it-
Bassie's is the place too.
Is that the one that's just west of Pilgrim?
It's definitely west of Pilgrim. Circle back to me in a second. I'll tell you. Hold on.
Yeah, another
It's quite
one.
a bit west. It's almost out to like Colgate or something. The Bassie's one.
Yeah, the Bassie's.
That one gets crazy on the weekends.
Yeah, yeah.
Crazy
You don't
big
want to do it on a
traffic.
weekend. You want to do it during the week. Shindawa, the flower, sunflower farm, I was told was going to have pumpkins as well. I'm not sure if they're charging for that. It was a great sunflower spot. And also on the other sunflower farm, what is that road? Town Line?
Yes.
They were going to have pumpkins that look like as well.
How about Holy Hill? What's the colors like out there?
Right now, there's no color out in Holy Hill. Probably
Really?
in 2 weeks or so, we'll see some.
Yeah, it's very spotty out here.
Yeah, we've had so much drought out here. Most of the rain missed us that I'm not sure if we're going to actually see a lot of color.
There's still quite a lot of trees that are green out here too.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
I got a couple of maples that I watch, and they're already dropping leaves, and they're just green yet. So,
Yeah,
but
I'm a,
hopefully in a couple of weeks we will see some fall color out here. We usually will get some.
Silver Spring Pumpkin Farm is in between Marcy and Lannon off of Silver Spring.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
that's not that far. Well, maybe the challenge is we don't go as a group. You just go to find the pumpkin farm you want to go to and see what you can bring in from it. And see where we go. All right. Do we have any news from WACO, PSA, and the digital forum, Jeff, that you want to share?
Well, the WACO competition, get your images in by
10th,
whatever the new deadline is.
October 10th.
Thank you. That's coming up quick. It's this weekend.
5 days away.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Other than that, yeah, I have the digital forum that meets the fourth Saturday of the month from 10 till noon. The link to sign up for that is in the newsletter. Feel free to come, and you can either just watch, or if you feel you want to, you can join the panel and help everybody else answer questions that are on the panel. And we get lots of questions. This October, we're going to have a drone photographer on for the second hour, talking about drone photography. So it should be a very interesting second hour. About a month ago, we got into drone photography in the digital forum, just talking about it, and a lot of people were interested. So we're bringing on a photographer that will talk about that.
All right. What about the PSA showcase? I think Ken wants pictures by the 10th.
Right. We need pictures for the PSA Club Showcase. We submit 7 pictures to that competition, and they get judged by each of us. We normally judge it during December. So we need 7 images. What we've done in the past, because we don't get many images, so far I only have an image from Pat Lynch, is that we will use the images that you've entered in WACO competition, and we will pick the 7 images from that group of images that for the members that reside in our club. We'll show which 7 we pick at the next meeting. So if you have an image and you don't enter the Wacko competition, send the image to either myself, well, send it to me, and we'll put it into the group, and then Ken and I will decide the 7 images that are going to go into that competition.
Yeah, there's something on page 3 of the newsletter about the showcase,
Right.
so you can go from there.
Yeah, so that's the PSA Club Showcase. We did pretty well last year with it. Actually, did we win? I can't remember.
We won as a club.
Yeah, we won as a club. So we'd like to stay in first place. So send us your images and we'll see if we will be able to use them. And otherwise, we'll just pick from the Wacko competition images.
Jeff, the newsletter said to send it to Ken, which is what I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I sent one to
fine,
Ken too. I
Okay.
sent one to Ken.
Okay,
I think-
great.
Yeah, that's what the newsletter says. anyway.
All right.
Okay.
If it's said to Ken, then send it to Ken.
Okay.
All right.
Will you be looking at images from both the spring and the fall Wacko?
Probably more the fall one, just because. Let's see. I just, what we have to make sure we don't do is get a duplicate entry from the last competition. So we generally, we just have been using the last competition, which would have been the fall competition. So,
Okay.
or spring, that would have been the spring competition was the last one we had. We got the fall one coming up. So,
All right, before we get to show and tell and the program, is there any other business that anyone wants to bring up that we haven't covered that we should cover? I guess all the news is in the newsletter. I think that's, if we use that newsletter properly, I think we got all the information we need. All we really need to do is just have show and tell and have a good time. You know what I really miss about these meetings is the break we took at the 1 hour mark. You know, the snacks and the drink and the camaraderie.
Well, you can still do that.
Well, I guess we could. It's not quite 8 o'clock yet. Break time.
That's why you gotta show up early and just hang out for a few minutes before the meeting.
Now that brings up a topic that I brought up last month, would be whether or not as a group, we want to try to do something collectively where we can all get together and share a drink or a mini little party of some sort, or just an outdoor picnic in the spring. Since we're not going to be able to all come together and meet one-on-one via Zoom, that might be something we might want to try down the road. Anybody think that's a halfway decent idea or just a harebrained idea?
I'm all for it.
I knew you were a party gal.
I remember from, I believe, the last meeting where it was, Joe, you might have suggested getting together for in person at the rec department for the December pizza meeting.
Yeah.
And possibly July for the ice cream social.
Well, I don't know. It's kind of up in the air, but you know, it's something we might want to try to do. But
I would say that if we're going to meet, we're going to have to find a restaurant or some place to meet at.
Yeah.
The rec department isn't going to let us bring food in currently.
Okay. Well, as we get closer, you know, through the holidays and all of that, maybe we'll somebody will come up with an idea and volunteer to take the lead and pull something off. Time will tell. Okay, let's move on to show and tell. Just so we know, we are set through November and December. After December, right now, we do not have anyone lined up for the balance of the year. So maybe we can look at maybe January and February now and see if anybody wants to volunteer for those 2 months. And then as we get past that, we'll look for something in the March and April and thereafter. So how about 2 volunteers for January that we can go on and get set up, and then 2 volunteers for February? Any hands go up? I'm not seeing any.
I'll do
Okay.
a February.
Jeff, okay, Jeff for February. That's 1.
And you
How
got
about 2
Tony for the other.
in February? Okay,
February.
Tony, thank you. January, anyone?
Boy, don't
Okay.
everybody raise your hand at once.
Hey, Joe.
I'll do January.
Joe, as a new member, give me a quick idea what we're talking about here.
Okay, that's where you bring in probably half a dozen pictures or so. And then you do what's called screen sharing here on this website. And then just show us your pictures and tell us a little bit about them as you go through them. And we're just looking for volunteers to show some of their work. That's really what it boils down to. Now, you've been in the River Edge Club.
Mhm.
There, we brought the pictures in on a jump drive. Here, you just bring them to the meeting, and then on your computer, you do what's share screen. You see it on the bottom of the screen you're looking at right now. And some of the people tonight that are going to be presenting are doing screen share, and then you'll be able to somewhat emulate what they've done tonight.
Okay.
As we get down the road.
I get the technical part, but I guess do we get comments from members about the pictures, or is it just I'm just showing you some pictures and everybody goes? Okay.
Sometimes we get comments.
That's what we do.
Yeah, we're pretty good at that.
All right. Well, I'm willing to volunteer for January.
Okay, I will do the other January spot. So
I mean, we did some Zoom meetings with River Edge as well. So
Right.
I understand the technical part. So
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I guess if I'm going to show a picture, I'd appreciate a little feedback on it.
Yeah. You have
Well-
7.5 minutes is what we try to hold it to. So
Yeah.
judge how many images you'd like to show in 7.5 minutes, and with, a little bit of comments in between.
Okay,
But
so
does a hook come out after 7.5 minutes and yank me off?
no,
Yes.
No,
Okay.
would be nice.
Steve,
Yeah.
Steve, as a new member, you'll see tonight when we do our image review, this is where we get feedback and how to make photos. This is one of the ways that we can improve our photos. And I'm just
Yeah.
going to tell you right now, cropping, really big cropping. That's what I usually come away with.
Is image
so
review
this
different
is where
than
you
show and
get
tell?
feedback.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Image review is a little bit more of a critique. Show and tell is where you kind of present what you've done, and then if you need a comment or two, we're welcome to share it.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot
Okay.
of times people are working on different ways of approaching the photo, and this is one way that they can share, or some place that they've gone that's unusual, or even their own backyard, just photographing worms or something, but with a unique perspective, or however you want to play it, actually.
All right.
So is the photo review done every month as well, or is that
No, that's a one-time deal for the year.
okay?
Okay. Now, we got January and February, all these volunteers popping up. You think we ought to try to go on again in March as well? While you're in the mood?
Oh, let's not overkill, Joe.
Right. Quit while you're ahead, Joe.
Yeah, I thought I was going to get the whole year done. All right, one day at a time here. All
I
right,
can still
we have
volunteer
two
later
people on
on.
show and tell tonight, Chris and Ian. Who wants to be first? It looks like Chris is, right? He's ready. Am I right, Chris?
Yes, you should hear me now.
Yep.
We got you.
Then
Take
I
it
shall
away.
push the buttons and go first.
All right, you're the one.
Okay. I'm sharing my screen, but all I get is this. Oh, that's what I want. Now I got it.
We're not seeing anything.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay, so that goes here, that goes here, that goes here, and this goes here.
We're seeing lighthouses.
Now you should see a picture of a duck,
Nope, no
right?
duck.
No duck.
2 lighthouses.
I see a picture of a duck on my screen.
Well, we don't.
Okay. Yeah, we've run into this sometimes. Stop your screen share. It looks like you picked.
Okay, there's this.
Yeah, the screen that you're sharing is just your desktop, and not your screen share. So drop out a screen share. Make sure you pick the first one, which is your desktop.
I don't have a prompt that even says screen share anymore.
Okay, you have to go up to the, here, I can stop your screen share.
Okay, I see that now. Now I click on screen share again.
Yep, and make sure you click the first window in the upper left, which should be desktop.
Okay.
Okay.
And now you should see
Gmail.
email.
Now we're seeing your Gmail, so.
That's not too interesting.
Yeah.
Now you should see a duck.
Yep.
There we go.
You see a duck.
There we go. Yep, now it's
Now,
working.
if I could figure this out, I'd be a genius. Okay, one of my passions is taking pictures of little people with feathers, the modern versions of dinosaurs. I have 2 places I like to go. Greenfield Park seems to be a very good place to shoot birds like herons and egrets that are close enough to watch them feed and get a decent image out of a 600mm lens. And then Horicon Marsh, where they're a little bit more antsy about seeing me, but there's decent birds there as well. This little duck was at Horicon Marsh last week. This egret was a couple of months ago at Horicon Marsh, and you can see him attempting to get something to eat there. Obviously, an egret's flying. They're a very beautiful bird, and when you get them flying, that's a nice effect. That's also at Horicon. I try not to get them just sitting there. I like to have them doing something, like folding their wings up or doing something. This is at Horicon. It's the first green heron I've seen in some years at Horicon, but he was nice enough to look for something to eat, but he never did. That's at Greenfield Park in West Allis, and that's a little fish that this particular guy got. And this is the kind of closeness I can get with the 600 at Greenfield. They seem to be very happy to see me. And this is the first time I've got a nice orange fish, a carp of some sort that this guy was eating. This guy was having a salad, as near as I could tell. The same guy just sitting in the weeds. And the same guy just sitting around looking for things. This is at Horicon, just a couple of herons sitting around. And these little yellow leg guys are also at Horicon. Horicon had very low water this year, I noticed. This is a swans at Horicon. Teal ducks, I'm told these were at Horicon. These were in my front yard. I got rid of some bird seed and dumped it on my front lawn. And about 3 or 4 days later, a flock of about 20 turkeys showed up on my front lawn. So this was a birding expedition that didn't take me very far. back to Horicon, and this little guy had some sort of fish. I have a nice view of the western sky near my home, and this is a sunset that I captured that I thought was kind of nice. This is at Horicon again, a very nice sky in the late afternoon. This is, you recognize Horicon, a wide shot of the northern part of it. And let's see, do I have anything more? That seems to be it. So I shall mute my, stop my share, mute my microphone and turn it off to somebody else.
All right, very good. Thank you very much. Ian, I think you're next.
Okay, give me 1 second here. You should be seeing daffodils.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
So in the past year, especially, I've shot a lot of flower photos. So today we're gonna primarily focus on the flower photos. Starting with spring flowers when the daffodils were out. This was taken here in Menomonee Falls, right at the Main Street in Appleton area as they were coming up. Kind of caught one leaning on another one. And the tulips started to come out. This is, one of my favorite times of the year to get out and shoot flower photos because we've been cooped up all year, and I like catching them before they start to, fully go into bloom. And then I started to, I made my first trip out to the Chicago Botanic Garden since I've been doing photos, like with a real camera and everything, which has been over like 12 years or whatever, and I've never taken it to Chicago Botanic Garden, even though I grew up about 15 minutes from it. So made some trips over there, more tulips, caught some dew on the flowers, pink with another pink flower behind it, gave it a cool background. Red on the green. Again, I like to catch things as they're coming up early. This thing's only about 4 inches tall, maybe. This one I like because I shot it, or when I first did the crop, I showed the entire dandelions. I like to shoot dandelions too because lots of people overlook them. But I shot it, you could see the full dandelion and everything. I showed my daughter and she's like, it should be bigger. And what she really meant was I should crop it to make it tighter. And I went back to my computer and I cropped it, and she was right. It needed to be cropped tighter. So this is the cropped image, and the bug pops out more and fills the frame. So took that feedback.
Ian,
7-year-old. Yeah.
Are these macros?
Yeah. Every single one of these I think is taken with my 90 millimeter macro.
Thank you.
Am I right that you do all this handheld?
I do just about all my macro handheld autofocus.
Okay.
This was at Lapham Peak. Just caught this guy. I went out there early in the spring to see if any spring flowers had come up. Only a few had come up at that time, but caught this butterfly flying around the place and stopped right in front of me, and I blasted away on, high speed shooting and caught this one and this one.
Is that flower a hyacinth?
I could not tell you. I am very bad at knowing my flowers.
Okay.
I should get good.
As
at
many
it,
as you
considering now I
shoot?
do it all the time. Yeah. It's hard enough to remember where I shoot them. This is at River Edge Park right here. I think it's called River Edge Park right here off of Fond du Lac in Menomonee Falls. It's like a circle little bike path, and these tiny little white flowers were coming up right at the front and the back. at the same place, same day, I got this dandelion, which that was like some grass and weeds behind it, about, I don't know, 3 feet behind it or whatever. So I got really low to the ground. The sun was shining in the background, so that's why it was the color it was. And I just got the dandelion standing tall. And then we did our trip to Shady Lane Nursery. So if you get lucky, you can catch some of the flowers after they've watered them. And they have water droplets all over them. So you get cool things like that. Shady Lane's always a fun trip. You get really tight in there. Sometimes I shoot through the flowers and edit it so it's a little softer. Dahlia. This one I like because it's almost like the flower is caged by itself, which is an interesting perspective. Fun colors go well together. And then this is the Chicago Botanic Garden. I went back in June, so I went in April and then I went in June. I like to focus on my backgrounds. Eyeball looking at you in this one. I forgot I put this in here. I think this is in my image critique. So you'll know when you get one of mine for image critique.
Ian, why don't you tell everybody what camera you're using and lens?
Sony A6600. It's a crop sensor camera. It's got very fast autofocus, which is why I love it. And then I use a 90mm Sony macro lens.
Thanks.
Yep. This one, just like how the detail on the pollen, the little parts coming out, it's almost like a ball gown then below it. This one I titled like Blade because it looks sharp. I like to crop and then I like to rotate. Got just a couple more here. So then, oh yeah. This was still from the Chicago Botanic Garden in June. I try to take different angles. I get sucked really into the top-down center composure a lot. You'll see a lot of those out of me, but try to move around and get something new. Speaking of top-down center composed. And then the last few here, I recently went to the out of Chicago Botanic Garden conference. I spent 5 days at the Botanic Garden with some amazing instructors, with just beautiful flowers everywhere you went. You could go anywhere and you had beautiful flowers in front of you. It was amazing. I have like 6,000 photos that I took that week. So I've only slightly edited my photos from that trip. But what happened was I got in early on Sunday. The conference started at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So I got in early when they opened, the garden opened Sunday morning, and it downpoured for like 15 minutes. So I waited in the parking lot, and then once it stopped raining, I went in. One of the first spots you can go to has the lilies. So it was awesome because it was still overcast and they were covered in raindrops. So we got things like this and like this. I call this one campfire because it almost looks like it's on fire, glowing. And then the first real day of the conference that we went out and shot, I noticed this lily was starting to open, and I cropped it in the camera to look at it and realized it kind of looked cool with this reflection. So this is actually rotated 90 degrees. Flower is on the right, the reflection is on the left, but it kind of gives it a neat effect to it. And this is a reminder that even when you're surrounded by awesome lilies and cool flowers everywhere, you can sit down and then just look next to you and have a flower sitting there with dewdrops on it in your shadow with, even though it's bright sun at that time, if your shadow's cast on it, you get soft light and you can get a cool photo like this. I got only 2 left here. Similar to, this is the same flower I showed you earlier with the mirror, with the reflection. It just came up, it was opening as the day went on. And again, I was talking earlier about backgrounds. This was a very narrow window that I had to get down low and position myself just right because there was other flowers in a pot on the other side of the fountain, whatever you want to call it, where these flowers were. And if you got low enough in just the right spot, those flowers reflected off of the water. So that's how I got this cool watercolor painterly look. Around it, I slowed my shutter down about as slow as I could while hand holding to get the ripples kind of wave effect. So same flower. It's a good reason to always come back to your images, keep working them because light changes. In this case, the flower literally changed as it kept opening up. So, and in my last one, I would share family photo. It's been a crazy month here, but my daughter is back full-time in-person school. Last year, she stayed home all year and did virtual school through Ben Franklin, through the Menomonee Falls School District. They offered a virtual thing. So about a month ago, she went to school for the first time. So it's been kind of crazy around here, getting used to that, not having her here anymore. But she's loving it. She's doing great. So yeah, those are the images I have to share.
Definitely gorgeous pictures.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ian, the Botanical Gardens in Chicago, I've been down there 3 or 4 times this year. And there appears not to be a bad time to go there. The flowers are there all the time. That, if you've never been there, that is one unbelievable place to visit. If it's your first visit, at a minimum, expect to spend 3 or 4 hours and you'll barely cover the grounds. It is huge and the flowers are just absolutely everywhere. And this coming December, I think they've got their Christmas light show as well that goes on every year. And it's really quite phenomenal as well. The problem is there's a big crowd. Yeah, so it's hard to get the kind of pictures you really want, but it's if you've not been there, it's well worth a visit. Okay, thank you very much. Any other comments on the 2 presentations?
Yeah. Ian, I would just like to make an observation, especially with this batch of photos. I can usually tell your buildings, and now even with this batch of photos that are flowers, there seems to be this underlying sense of structure. Your flowers tend to have, I mean, they look I all of a sudden it hit me. I said, these are very, very structural. If they were like his black and white buildings, without the color, there's that sense of you must have an eye that draws you to. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it right now.
I can probably elaborate in the sense that I shoot flowers and buildings the same way. So yeah, there is a lot of overlap in style of,
a little more color in the flowers. Got it.
Right.
But very distinctive. Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay. I mean, I like them.
Very well
Appreciate
done.
it. Thank you.
Earlier in the presentation, I indicated I'd be showing the fences and gates for those that submitted pictures in the monthly challenge. Let me share screen and do that now, and then we'll move on to the programs a little bit later. Okay, I haven't done this for a while. What am I doing wrong here? Share screen.
Click share screen and make sure you pick the first one in the upper left, which is your desktop.
Thank you very much. All right, let's do a slideshow on these. Okay. The name, if you notice the bottom line here, the names that they're Ken Bowman on this one. Ken, where was this, by the way?
Natchez, Mississippi.
All right. Those Southern Charmers. I think this one is Chris. Very nice. The topic was fences and gates, if you forgot. That's another one of Chris's. I don't think that was this year, Chris.
No, that was a couple of years ago.
All right. Ken, this one?
That's
No,
from Howie in the
no
Hills,
trespassing.
Florida.
All right.
Howie in the Hills is the name of a town, and the founder was a guy by the name of Howie. He was a planter and a real estate person, and that was his mansion, which a long time was in ruins, and somebody bought it recently, and they're having weddings there now and everything, and they've renovated it quite nicely.
I like the way you've got the gate and the house covered with the stone gate. It's very nice. This one is Mark and Cindy Bankley. It's got to be in the Smokies. Looks like a nice way to get over a fence, without getting your pants all torn up. This is mine. Somewhere out west in Wisconsin, just a nice old barn that I like. This one's to a gate in a monastery in Slovenia. And this was Bernard's Hall. Bernard?
Yeah, that's in front of Badger Meter.
Yeah, I thought I recognized that.
And that's the Public Works building.
Yep. And the next one, Sally. Are you here tonight?
Yeah, she says it's Lake Geneva boat tour.
Okay.
From last week.
Well, the thing I wanted to point out, this picture came to me. It was not sized to 2100 long, so it makes it difficult to see. I tried to enlarge it a little bit, but for those of you that do participate, we need to make sure that our length is at 2100, so we can get a good resolution of the picture. And that's all we have on that tonight. So let me back that out.
Yeah, Sally said that came from her iPhone, so
Okay.
sometimes the iPhone resizes it when it emails it out. So
all right, let me leave there. Okay, we are going to postpone the Wacom tablet program tonight. I think we're going to do image review next. So I think Jeff and Ian are going to lead that charge. So take it away.
okay. I am going to have Ian do most of this talking tonight. Ian, I'll run the show part because I can do that. But I've been a little sick lately, so I can't do a lot of talking. I'm sort of run out of air quick. So let me see if I can do this right. Yeah, it looks like the right one. Now we want to do this. All right, so first, before we get started, we have 21 images. I'm going to read off the names quick. It's Don Gorzak, Ellen Hanrahan, Ian Dickmann, Jeff Gallardi, Jeff Klug, Jesse Buchholz, Joe Higdon, Ken Bowman, Mark Van Cleve, and Priscilla Farrell. Did anybody else send me anything that I missed? You'll have to speak up because I can't see anybody's screen, but hearing nobody complain, looks like I got everything. And you should be able to be seeing the first image. So go ahead, Ian, I'll let you take over.
Okay, Jeff, do you want to turn off the JPEG part in the top left? Overlay.
Oh yeah, let's see.
And while Jeff's doing that, just as a reminder, so Jeff, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, this is where we usually hold up, what do you think? Like a 3, 3, a 4, a 5, that type of thing, right?
Right.
Okay. So that's what I'll end up doing is, for this photo while he's doing this, we'll let him get this out of the way so everyone can take a look at it.
Yeah,
But
now we can see the whole thing.
what do you think of it? A 3, it's an okay photo. 4, it's a pretty good photo, and 5, it's an amazing photo. And then after we kind of get that, then it's open for anybody to unmute and kind of throw out suggestions what they think could make it a better photo potentially, or a different photo. So for this one, what do we think? Just hold up fingers. Seeing a bunch of 3s. I see a 4, a couple 4s, and a 5. So the 3s, anybody got any suggestions for this or anything sticking out at you?
I think I'd crop part of the left side and try and enlarge the doors and in the front entrance.
Yeah, to me that makes a little more sense. The part that jumps out at me right away for this one is what is the subject? Where's my eyes supposed to go?
Right.
And at first it's like left, middle, right. It's like all over the place. I'm thinking his crop's helping. It's, as Ellen said, crop, right?
A little busy.
I showed my photos earlier, by the way, and I cropped the heck out of my flower photos.
Does that look a little better?
Yeah, I think it does.
Yeah, I think it does.
I think a little bit more foreground would have helped because it's at the bottom. It's just too tight.
Yeah, this is another one of those images too, where again, I'm kind of just picturing this in my head, but I could see getting down low and getting that foreground leading up to the doors, maybe. Just a composition idea.
Kind of like a good lead in.
Because that floor looks kind of interesting. Okay.
All right.
Jeff, next one. All right, same thing. What do people think? These 4s out of the chute. 3s, 4, 4. We're kind of split 3s and 4s on this one. 4s, what do you really like about this one?
I like the way the white flowers are spotlighted and kind of glow.
Threes, what do you want to change on this one, or what stands out?
I would have done a little more top down to get more inside the petals. Maybe go up about 40 degrees.
It's more like a 45-degree angle as opposed to straight on.
Yes.
I think the lighting's a little harsh.
Yeah, I was
on
gonna
the
say,
green. Yeah.
I think
highlights
the,
a little
I think if
high.
you adjusted the whites a bit, it would be better.
Whites and highlights, yeah.
I think the blacks could have been pure. This would look better with a solid black background. The detail in the black doesn't seem to do anything for it.
I tried a little bit on saturation and dehaze might help.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, the flowers stick out more.
Yeah.
They pop.
You're adding contrast to it. That's what we're doing basically. Like not the contrast slider, but we're adding contrast through the other sliders.
Try a little
might have
vibrancy.
helped. A diffuser might have helped them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of glare on the leaves and you know, lots of detail just because of the light.
You know, when I look at this, I wonder what is the subject you're really looking for. And I think for me, it's the three flowers at the top, and it's not the all of the leaves down at the bottom. So if I were to work this one, I would probably make it a horizontal, and I would get rid of many of the leaves at the bottom and make it a different photo. Yeah, and then something down from the top.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, that's a little high now. It looks like it's being pinched at the top. To me, it feels tight. Just because, again, it's shot kind of at an angle, you need a little bit of lead room at the top of those. But something like that, a little bit, maybe a little bit more open, a little bit more of that picture than what we're seeing. But I just sort of getting rid of some of the heaviness at the bottom, because I don't know if that's the subject matter.
Yeah.
Honestly, Jeff, I'd try pulling that bottom past that main leaf from the center one. So go down, keep going, keep going, keep going. Past those leaves before the one that's sticking up into it. Yeah. That's where at least my initial thought might have been. Which is probably more leaves than maybe what you're looking for there at first, but like I kind of like the diagonal leaves shooting through that bottom at least. It kind of saves your buffers it a little bit.
Yeah, it gives it a base
Yeah,
a little bit more.
And I think even this goes back to what you were saying. If it were shooting down a little bit, that probably would have really tied this all together.
Yeah. I think some of the white is a little bit overblown. There's not much detail on the white.
Yeah, that's where the diffuser would.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't pull the detail. I can't pull any more detail in than the white.
You're getting the grays in there now. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. What do people think of this one? Three. Three. 2, 4. 3. I think there's potential in this one. I'm going to give it a 3.5. What do people think of this one?
I like the composition. I think it's very well done. What I don't like is that everything is all the same color. There's not enough contrast. I would find a way to, I don't know, get some more contrast in there somehow.
Well, everything is in focus too. Everything's pretty sharp.
Yeah.
It's very sharp. I can even tell that through Zoom.
I don't know if I mind so much that everything's the same color, but generally speaking, the brightest things are where your eyes would go. So if we were looking at this one, the center near the left side, a little ways in, is where all the brightness is. And so it would make sense to sort of do what Jeff's doing here, and that is to make the people be a little brighter because you want to bring them back in, and you want to get rid of some of the brightness in that little section near the top left, and kind of play around with the brightnesses of this photo, because this has a lot of potential if you hit the right spots. And where you can see how the light really makes a huge difference in this is on the far right where the sun is hitting that fence, right where the green bushes are. It looks really pretty right there, just that fence in the green. If you could sort of dapple the light using selective lighting in this photo, you might be able to pull out a really nice photo. I think I would use a circular one for that.
On the left side there, yeah.
Yeah, on the top left. I don't know if I would use that, the one that you're using right now.
It's too global.
Yeah, I would use just that global now right there in that center area over there, the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, right up in there, and bring that down a little bit.
Yeah, let me inverse it here.
Take the highlights out of it once. Back up.
Yeah, that's pretty far.
Yeah.
Too much. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
There, you even right in there is fine, because we're
Yeah.
still trying to match it. And even now, if you
Right.
could bring up some of the reflections in the dark water, sort of leading to the people who are
Correct.
in the bikes, that'll sort of focus your energy and attention back to those bikers.
Yeah, that's your main subject.
Yeah.
So you want me to lighten the water?
Yeah, again, either using a brush or another one of those those circular filters that you had. Just put a circle, kind of make it an oblong one, and sort of light up that water area going
Right.
towards the bikers.
Right where you have the tree reflections, the trees are almost, the tree line reflections are almost leading you into the bikers. Light those areas between the two trees. The reflections.
And then again, one last thing I might do is, because I love the way the fence looks on the right, I might make a small radial filter along the fence, maybe near the left side of that fence, and also brighten it right there. And you'll get another little clump like that, and it'll move your eye from the far right with the fence to the next clump, that clump right in there.
Yeah, that kind of make that more even.
I actually would have it as two clumps, because again, I don't know if I'd make it even. I would let the middle part go dark, and I would go the third sort of end part be brighter, so it'll kind of move you along towards the bikers.
Okay, I follow what you're saying on that.
Yeah.
So I would probably make that radial filter actually a little higher and a little squattier, and that will give you that look of the fence and the area around it being in sunlight. Yeah, that can be a little higher, and then make it a lot squattier, and then move that whole dot to the left. Now make that higher, make that wider. That's okay. Don't, if you have a feather on there, it looks gorgeous, because what it'll do is blend in anyway.
Yeah, I got it somewhat feathered.
But you want to go definitely left. You just go left to where you are right now. Keep going left. Actually make that middle part go a little dark. Yeah, it's getting there, but I still might brighten that up. So anyway, you're trying to just move the eye along, and you'll get those bikers as kind of your subject.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Next one.
The barn. Joe's thoughts on this one. Three, 4, 4-ish.
Any way to take that power line out at the top or whatever that is?
Content aware. With a little
Yeah,
bit of
actually
finesse,
pretty
you
easily.
can totally do that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Content aware is amazing in stream.
Crop it a little.
Yeah.
Or crop it out. Yeah. One
Yeah.
or two.
If you just crop the barn, the red barn,
Mm.
that's the main subject.
This tree seems to be, I don't know, my eye goes right to this tree.
One on the right.
Yeah,
I think it's a good balance. I like it.
take it
It's
out
like
of there.
half a tree
Yeah.
though. That's the
Right.
problem.
Take it out once. Just crop it all out. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
That makes it too square.
You just got a barn now.
Yeah.
You've unfortunately
Eh.
lost the fence below the tree, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a nice lead into that.
Honestly, content aware could probably take out the tree.
Yeah, that would probably be the thing too.
Pretty good at, as long as it's a blurry background, it's usually pretty good.
I don't think this is gonna work,
No,
but I'll
this is
try it.
Yeah, give it a whirl. Why not?
Light
Eh,
heel is terrible.
not too bad.
Not
Not too
horrible for our purposes tonight.
Yeah.
It worked.
Right.
There's something I might try if I were to look at this one. If you were to take the those, I forgot what not the graduated filter, but I think it's a graduated, the line one that you were using in the beginning. If you were to use it on the top and the bottom of this picture, so to darken just the top part a bit, not a lot, and the bottom part a bit, not a lot, you might be able to again center your attention back on the barn. And that one can even follow the angle of that fence.
Too close.
Just for funsies, can you hit that space thing so we can see before and after? Yeah, see that I think it just focuses your attention more on the barn. That gives you that is more a little brighter now.
Yeah.
A pile of garbage in the upper left could come out.
Yeah, that helps.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually a nice picture.
Any way to make the grass in the foreground a little more gold, like wheat?
I got a horn.
Yeah, maybe too much,
yeah.
but yeah.
Try black and white.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a quick version of black and white.
Right.
there.
Yeah. That's better.
That one's
Yeah.
better.
Potential there.
Yeah.
Almost like that one there.
Yeah.
I like the texture on the barn.
Yeah.
I will say this would be one of those that would be fun to play with the color LUTs as well and go through this picture just to see if something really catches your eye. Because sometimes you get stuck in a style or colors And if you keep it in color and go through, they give you LUTs that are colors, and there's modern versions and there's vintage versions. You can sometimes get a real interesting idea of a different look.
This photo could probably be edited in about 5 different ways too, minimum.
Yes.
Like this, there's a lot of possibilities here with this photo.
I was thinking that this would be maybe a good one to, test with everyone.
Post
with their opinion.
processing.
I don't know whose it
The
is.
post
They
processing
want to
one.
donate it,
True.
but it's got things to clear out, and it works both black and white and color. So
Yeah. You got
All kind of games.
Jeff's showing off right now the cool part of profiles, which
Yep.
admittedly
Different LUTs that
I
you
don't
can
play
use.
enough with. Probably should play more with them.
I don't normally play with these, but they can be a quick way to take a look at stuff. The other would be, of course, that you could, do a profile.
Preset, you mean?
And these are just different presets
Yeah.
that I've got.
There were 3 different ones
Wow.
that really popped out. I thought that you were going through. It's like, oh, this is nice. This is beautiful.
Just looking to see. Yeah, see, I sort of like that sepia. Works nice with the barn.
A lot of options.
Okay. Just drop that back. All right, next one.
All right. Flowers.
Way too bright.
3, 2, 3, 2, 2s and 3s. Yeah, the brightness is probably gonna be your hardest thing. It's clearly shot in straight on light, which is tough to manage. You can drop highlights and all that stuff. There's some things you can do, but it's hard. These are probably decent sized flowers too. Otherwise, I'd say the trick I do is I try to cast my own shadow on the flowers when the sun's bright like that, and then you get soft light.
Yeah, the hard part is there's no central flower to focus on.
Try black and white on this one. That might be interesting.
I'm just thinking about maybe rotating the picture, maybe about this 45, the same angle that it's going to from the lower right to the top left. It would be kind of cool if we could, have the flowers, going straight up and down, and then crop it too. Yep, maybe something similar to that, and then move it. The right side can be cropped in too, maybe. Yep. Okay, well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hard, but that's pretty good though. I mean, it's.
If I was gonna do it, I guess I'd end up gonna go for something.
Ooh, yeah, wow.
More like that. I mean, the image certainly is sharp.
Yeah, that's really sharp. That's awesome.
Yeah, given you've probably gone down to a teeny amount of pixels, and it's still pretty sharp.
Yeah.
Focus was good.
Yep.
What's that looking color?
Oh, better.
Can you bring in any texture?
And try that in the modern one.
In the, you mean in the profile?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Hit the modern one because that zaps it up even more. It might, yeah, too.
I need sunglasses now.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't always work, but when it does, it makes it amazing.
No, that's too boring.
A lot of times it's too much, but
Yeah, I like the black and white actually.
Yeah.
Hey, Jeff, put it back to a regular profile real quick. And then go down to the color wheel. Try to drag the shadows into the blue teal. See what that does. Does it make it sickly, or if it does helps at all? Not too much. All right, put that back and just try to up the shadow luminance to soften it up. Yeah, you had it, the slider right below it, right below shadows. Yep, halfway or something. Yeah. Sometimes that'll help when it's just like too harsh. I find it just kind of fades things a little bit. It's worth a try.
yeah. Or sometimes if it's too harsh, just go all the way and make it even more harsh and
yeah,
make that the subject.
Yeah, the other thing you could do is if you wanted to, instead of bringing clarity up, you could bring it down, and that's gonna soften it as much, but keep your texture up. Yeah, I would probably work on getting rid of that little hot spot there and some of these spots. But cropping it like this, I mean, we are cropping the heck out of it, but picking one flower instead of multiple flowers certainly helps. And then after you do that, you can go here and go under enhance and super resolution it to help bring back the size of it. Okay, next one.
Got a bird. Thoughts on this one? Or numbers? We got three. 3, 4. Ellen, I can't see your fingers. 3. There we go. 3 out of Ellen. I could see a finger.
No.
It was not the middle one.
Okay.
Okay. What do people think of our bird here?
I'd fill the frame more with the bird.
Like Ellen
It's
said, crop.
It's all about the cropping. It's amazing what cropping does.
If you can't get close, crop. This is why that Sony A7R is so friggin' expensive.
I was gonna say what's kind of nice is with the Sony's, with the high megapixel camera, you can throw 75% of the, picture away and you still get a good quality picture, like a 1080.
The Sony A7R has so many pixels that when it goes into crop mode, it has more pixels than my crop camera. It's a 30 megapixel crop, and I only have 24 to begin with. The camera's ridiculous. Anyways, back to the bird. That's nice.
But it brings the bird into focus. I mean, it's amazing. The massive cropping really is a helpful tool.
And the background's
Yeah.
nice and blurred too.
I
Yeah,
would bring crop the bottom just a little bit more to get rid of that white and orange.
that lump.
thing on
This
the
here?
stick.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd crop up more, but it
Yeah,
would be
this is
easy.
probably again, I keep saying content aware, but we just don't have time to go into Photoshop over and over and over again. But
Yeah,
yeah, I agree. I would just take that piece out like what Jeff's doing.
that's not a great way, but at least it gets the idea.
The idea, yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
The breast part of the bird is a little hot. I would think you might want to try to bring that down again with a circular gradient kind of filter and bring down just that section for the just highlight. So that round filter up at the top that we used before.
Yeah.
And just right around there. But the other interesting thing might be to try is the green. For me, I wish it were slightly different and you could go into either the colors or the color wheels or whatever, probably colors, and see if you can get those greens to be somewhat different color.
Like you want the green to be like yellow?
It could be a yellow. I thought of yellow right away, thinking that might really
where I
bring
go.
this together. Now, I think the problem with using these circular wheels versus the color dots that I forgot what they're called in there, but
yeah, we could also go and do it.
I would,
here.
because this is universal, and if you go to the green color, or even use, and then kind of move that up and down and see where that goes, you're going to be able to find a nice color and a different hue. And you can probably bring that into something that really looks very, very pretty, really offsets that bird.
I do that a lot, and then I'll desaturate. You know, when you increase contrast, it does weird things to some of your colors. So then I'll desaturate, the color a little bit for just, like just the green.
I think a combination of the HSL and the color gradient here for in the shadows to give it a little more green and yellow.
Yeah, the only reason I get nervous using that what you're on now is that's a universal, so it's taking any pixel that's bright or dark and changing its color, so the bird is changing with it.
Yeah, but
that's what you're trying to do, unless you're trying to get the bird to change color.
Yeah, but this is just changing the shadow area of it, so the bird isn't really getting affected much, if any. Because you can see if you look at the bird as I turn it on and off.
Other one you're turning on and off detail.
I'm turning off detail.
I do that all the time.
Where is that one? Oh, it's hidden. That's why I'm not seeing it. Yeah, if I turn, you could see the bird isn't really changing any. A slight bit, but the background's changing a lot. Now, I got to admit, if I was doing it, I probably would have selected the bird in Photoshop, and then I could adjust the background to whatever I wanted, and it would be a lot quicker. But
all right,
there's a number of tools that work for it.
We'll move on to the next one, Jeff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know we don't get kicked out, but it is 8:45. So.
Yeah.
All right, truck. 3, 4, 3, 3, 3, 4, 3, 3. Think of 4. Ellen, back your hand up. Get it closer to you. Not the camera, you. There you go. Ellen's a 4. I think there's a 4th finger up.
I'm new at this.
I like the exposure on this. There's some nice range here.
Mm-hmm.
And the colors, an interesting saturation. I say that in a good way.
I'd crop from the left all the way up to that divider between the two kegs. You know, that. There. Don't show the keg behind it, but get right next to the left side of that. There.
Well, I guess, yeah, I like that better. Otherwise, I would have liked the whole back of the truck in there. And some space past the back last keg.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that divider makes it look like the end of the truck.
Yeah. Where, because it's cut off here, it feels too tight on this end. Be nice if you had a little bit more of the, so that you showed the end of the truck. Would be the other way to go.
Nice picture.
Yeah.
Is the building leaning to the right a little too much, or?
I think it's pretty straight.
It's
straight on
pretty
left and
straight. It
right.
might be a tad off.
Just a very tad, very subtle.
What may be throwing it off is the drain pipes. Aren't probably as straight as the building. The building itself looks pretty good.
See, this is the kind of picture with my background in advertising. I've got space for text up above in the cloud, and I could promote their business with some major headline and then just use that on a billboard or something. So my take on looking at pictures is still probably ingrained in, okay, do I have enough room for text? Do I have enough room for, selling a product? Kind of hard to get rid of that idea.
What I just heard was don't crop.
Yeah.
Mixed messages on
Yeah.
Ellen tonight.
Yeah, Ellen's saying don't crop, but you need the end of the truck, I think.
Yeah.
Right.
If you're gonna do that.
My question is, where was this taken, and does it still exist?
That was
Oh.
taken in Hillsborough, and that's from 1914. That was the old Carnation milk plant. And these people who just started up this Hillsborough Brewing Company in Hillsborough bought that building and renovated it completely. You have weddings there and everything.
Neat. Okay.
Yeah, I like that picture a lot. It's pretty cool.
2 birds. Thoughts? 3, 3, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3. Part jumps on me is definitely cropping off the back of that bird feeder there. Or birdhouse, whatever.
There we go.
Probably need to come up a little and come down. That maybe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty good photo right out of the chute there.
Yeah.
Darken it just a little bit.
Moodier if you want.
I think in the original, the bird that was near the entrance got lost, but now this way seems to stand out a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
And Jeff cropped them right into they're both on that roughly the right side there.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a guideline, not a rule.
Yep. Yeah, but on my part.
Super minor thing that I would do is with this crop, I would clone out what looks like a screw on the very right edge there, about halfway up the photo.
Oh, this one here?
Yep. You don't have to do it, but
yeah,
that's something I would do.
You're right.
It's a cool photo.
Okay.
Cool, they're
I'm gonna
both
pick
looking
it
the
up.
same way.
Yeah.
Both sharp.
Time-wise, we got about 10, 15 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah. And we're only halfway through.
Not even.
Not even.
Good thing you don't have to drive home.
All right, Bumblebee. What do we got? 4, 2, all overboard. 4, 4, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4. A lot of 4s on this one.
I would try to make the bumblebee bigger, which you know what that means. Crop some of the flower.
Yes, and it's a honeybee.
Yeah, it is a honeybee, I think.
Did I say bumblebee?
You did.
Oh, sorry. I didn't even mean to specifically call out a type of bee.
He's still working on flowers, so
Yeah. It's a blue flower and red flower.
yeah.
Shadows up.
Go.
See, this crop is a good example of, as I mentioned, I crop all my most of my flower photos. This is how I get the close detail, even with a 90mm on a crop sensor. It's still cropping tight.
Yeah, I was going to
Getting
mention
something
it.
like
It's like,
this.
man, that's such great detail.
I like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost too much detail, and that how crystal clear it is.
That's bee.
Well, the bee is more dynamic.
Yeah, I mean, the bee's the reason this flower is different than just a flower photo. So you want to make the bee
Right.
prominent.
Okay,
Cool.
Next one.
We got a car. Thoughts? 2, 4, 2, 3, 3, 4, 3, 4. Bunch of 3s, a 4. Somebody left the meeting. All right.
Well done.
Is this a 2x3 crop? I guess it is. You can see it
Yeah.
some of the top cropped off. And I would either clone out the red thing or I would crop it so I don't have that red thing on the top right there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Everything else is just a distraction. This is purely the car and blurry things around it, right? I like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, fixed it. Oh, that's great.
What do we think? We got 4. We got a 4. We got a 4. A 3. A 4. 4. 4. A lot of 4s. People like this one. It's a good photo.
What do you call that that darkening around the edge of the photo?
A
Vignette. What happens if you put a vignette in there?
I would also probably crop a little off the right.
Crop a little off the right.
because like the bird stands tall, but then that wing takes you out. So the left wing.
There.
Like that, maybe.
Yeah, a little vignette would do it, I think.
I think it needs a.
I'd either do that or I would put the left part of the crop back for the negative space.
You'd want
I actually want to leave the left. Yeah,
up to there.
That's good.
sure.
'Cause I don't like if we go farther, you got that tree,
That tree, yeah.
which
Got
is
a hard
darker.
black line. Yeah, I see what you're
Yeah,
saying.
you get a black line. So if we stop there, that works a little better.
And then he's not quite dead centered also.
Right.
Mhm.
Because he's not the turkey, it's not symmetrical itself. So having it dead center kind of.
That's it.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay.
It's an awesome picture.
That's cool action shot. Flower. 4, 5, 4, 3, 3, 4, 3, 4.
Helen's got a thumb and a palm. I don't know what that
Yeah,
comes to.
it's 3. I could see the 2 fingers down, which meant it was a 3. I did math.
I'm gonna make myself a little chart.
This is math class. Either you got to add or subtract.
I go backwards. Okay. As long as I'm being ridiculed here, I still think the blue background is a little too strong. So maybe crop to focus in on some of the structure of the leaves.
Jeff, I can't tell if
I think-
it's zoom or if the edges are just very sharp on this flower, like almost cut out. Is that just zoom?
Oh,
Or are they very
Yeah, it might be cut
they
out.
might be cut.
or it looks to me like, you know, a magic wand on the background or a masking. It's just a little too sharp to me.
You
Where
could
you
actually
can't
take the blue, either take down the color, just the blue, or hue of the blue.
You'd also probably put a circular filter, radial filter in the middle, just to make the middle a little brighter.
I don't remember my keyboard shortcut for that invert. Speed things up.
This is how
Yeah,
you
like-
get the center of flowers to glow
Yeah. Yeah, let's see. And then
without a flashlight.
there.
Yeah, draws your eye to the middle a little bit more.
Mhm.
Otherwise, it gets lost with the bright background.
Yeah.
Suppose.
The petals remind me of like the fall colors with the, colors on the trees, the leaves on the trees.
Okay.
Nice. Well done.
I think the vignette tones it down a little. Yeah.
Moth. 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3. Lots of threes.
there a way to bring out the feathering on the antenna just a little bit more that so you can see it?
I didn't even see it until you mentioned it.
Yeah, that helps.
There, is that better?
Yeah.
Now I notice it. That's
Oh,
cool.
yeah. Did
It
not
almost
see
looks
that.
like it looks like a
Big
fern.
difference. Yeah, big difference.
Yeah, Jeff, I don't know if that was Zoom or that really did pop for you too.
Yeah, yeah, bringing up the shadow detail brought up that, and then also doing texture and clarity brought it even a little bit more.
Perfect.
Try, can you crop it to an 8x10? Or roughly. You don't have to do exactly 8x10, but and move it all the way to the right. And then bring a little off the top, that top left corner.
We went,
Yeah.
like that, a little more yet?
Yeah.
Somewhere around there. That's
Yeah.
the general gist of what I was looking at. I like the lean in the branch. I don't like the straightness of the branch.
Very nice.
Yeah, bringing out the
I
detail
think
in
that
here
looks better.
worked really nice.
Yes, it looks better. Yep, I
Oh,
definitely
moss.
increased my score.
Yeah.
Hey, Joel, I'm thinking of it. Maybe we should just have a program on cropping.
Good idea. Good idea.
Okay.
Oh. If that's our Schlitz grow or not, but 3, 2, 3, 5, 4, 4, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4.
Again, I think this is really nice, but I probably, man, I'm going to be cropping so much stuff lately.
Little more crop, just a little.
A little more cropping. Yep.
From the top left, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're
That would
doing-
be too much.
Yeah. There you go.
And it's
Yeah.
a black bird, so it should be darker.
Well, it's not black, it's a bluebird, it's black
Well, it's a
feathers are
crow.
actually
They're
blue.
black.
That's a lot more striking.
Is it a blackbird or is it a grackle?
Well,
It's
it's a crow. I know it's the crow because I've photographed this guy a lot. But his feathers are actually a deep black, blue black, I should say.
This is the one from Schlitz.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I have not edited my Schlitz photo, not any of my Schlitz photos, so I haven't looked at it yet. That's a cool photo. It's a
Yeah.
nice
No, but
composition.
now it's he
Eye
has a
is
more
awesome.
piercing look. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We better keep moving here. We're getting late.
Sticks, I think.
Okay, there's a moth in there somewhere. I can guarantee it.
Yeah.
Or caterpillar.
Oh,
And that's only because I've seen this one too from River Edge. So so this one gets a little tricky.
so tricky that I saw a bunch of twos at the beginning.
Yeah.
Because I
I
think that
believe-
we're all tricked. Yeah, I think that's it, isn't it?
And I'm gonna call Jeff Gallardi out on it, right, Jeff? This is the guy here?
That's the caterpillar.
Yeah,
Well done, Caterpillar.
so everybody knows. Jeff is a I would call him an expert on photographing these, and he does focus stacking on all of them. So now that everybody knows where it is, anybody, I guess, have suggestions for him on?
So the caterpillar is just that right hand
Yeah, that's it.
stick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
it's mimicking a branch.
Oh, it does a really good job.
Yeah.
From a documenting purpose, I think
Yeah.
it's perfect. It's great.
Yeah.
You can show this, be like, find the caterpillar, and then you can point it out and be,
Yeah.
look, there it is.
Where's Waldo? Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I'm just hanging around.
That's definitely
Yeah.
incredible then.
So any
Wow.
other suggestions to?
Yeah, I think the color and everything is perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know it's.
Well, I think if you highlight the caterpillar, you defeat the purpose of its camouflage. So
Right.
Exactly.
no, I've revised my thought on this.
You could. I'm just playing for the sake of playing here because
Yeah, I
this
think
would.
if you're showing it to the general public, you almost have to, without somebody explaining it, you almost have to do what Jeff is doing here.
I mean, even here, you'd be like, okay, it's a stick.
Yeah, it's another
Somebody
stick,
told you
so-
it's a caterpillar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Which
I
is the
guess
purpose.
I would prefer the original.
Yeah, I think so too. It's an interesting shot. Very well done.
Fence. Two. Odd twos. We got 4. We got 3.
I'm gonna go 3.
Up the 4 moved up to a 5. All right. Any thoughts?
You need a fox sitting right there in the grass in front of the gate. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Could use a more central subject. Yeah.
Highlights down just a tiny bit and it's beautiful.
Add some fog.
How about a foggy fox?
Actually, that looks better too. Because now the gate, where was that with our fences and gates? But now the gate takes on a little bit more of a focal impact.
My eyes.
I didn't want that.
So is that fence like rusted through there on the top left?
I was gonna comment on that. It looked like it did rust through.
What's funny
Yeah.
is the way it rusted through in this image, especially the way Jeff's like messed with it already. It looks like somebody like clicked a heel brush right there, like accidentally took out part of the fence.
I was thinking the same
I
thing what
thought
you
too.
thought.
Like why is that spot there?
That is a weird spot for it to rust through.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a leaf in front of it.
No, it rusted through.
No, it's rusted through. I can see it clear on my screen and it's
Okay.
literally rusted through.
It's where somebody's hand opened and closed the gate a lot. And so the oils from the hand collected moisture and that's how it rusted.
Yeah. I don't know if I actually like what I did here. Not that it did that much.
Yeah, I don't like it.
But
But
your crop was probably the best thing.
Yeah. I would probably, if I had more time, I would probably do I guess I got the time, don't we?
You're 10 over, Jeff, but okay.
Nobody seems to be going too far.
Yeah, we're
away.
not losing anybody so
We've
far.
lost a couple people.
Yeah.
We got most of the crew still here.
I just figure
Let's
this
get-
way, it takes 20 minutes for the average person to make it home, you know, from our camera club or from work. So
Yeah. Plus
Yeah,
my
I live
bedtime's
5
coming
minutes
up.
away.
So you're good till 9:30 for me.
that's kind of nice. My work is only 10 minutes away, so that's kind of nice too.
I have a problem with Nick effect filters that it doesn't work on the first go through. Now, are you seeing the Nick filters here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
wanted
came
to-
up, yeah.
Yeah. So everybody was talking about, let's add some fog. We could add a little bit of haze to it and maybe something like that. Yeah, that's sort of different. I'd probably do it. I got 3 or 4 different ways. I think, yeah, adding fog could be interesting. So, okay. Had to give it a
Awesome.
shot.
Four, three, four, four, three. I like this one. I'm fine with it the way it is.
Yeah, I can't, I'm not seeing anything.
You could crop it to just give a different image, but I mean, it's fine the way it is.
Yeah, there's 2 things. I mean, you could crop it all the way to the tree if you want, or you could just crop it as a landscape like this. So it works out great.
Yep.
So
Okay,
there are a
kinda-
couple options.
I kind of like, yeah, no, but not too much because I kind of like the fact that it looks lonely out there.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I actually give this a 5 then. I increase it 1. This actually is really nice.
On further review.
I know if
Further
Ken,
review.
if Ken
We're
was
allowed-
here, he'd ask you to spot out all the jet contrails here. That one and
How would
this
it
is-
look in black and white?
Now, this happens to be my photo.
Oh.
What time of the day do you think that picture was taken?
Black and white.
High noon.
yeah, it looks like noontime.
Well, guess what, folks? It was dark. This is a long exposure.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
I'm not seeing a lot of shadows, so that makes it hard to tell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Black and white has good possibilities on a
Uh-huh.
shot
Yeah.
like this,
Yeah.
except I would probably try to find a black and white that would make the sky more
There
like
we-
that.
Yeah. I like that.
Or even this one's not bad. This one's sort of nice.
Mm,
Okay.
Got 2, 3. Yep. 1, 2 became a 3. 2, 3. 2s and 3s. And they're one of those subject ones to me.
It's hard. I like the sky and I also like the flowers,
But they're so far apart from each other that they pull the photo apart.
Yeah.
True, they are. And then the cars kind of, irritate me.
Right, just messy, just cars. Traffic.
Yeah, a low angle where you could have gotten the flowers with the sky in the background. You probably would have to get clear down on the ground and angle up.
Yeah.
That would have been a possibility.
Yeah,
But
there's no
yeah.
cropping to help this. It's
yeah, the cars
just
are a killer.
different angle.
But it looks a little bit better than what it was.
A vignette.
Yeah, the flowers are beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping if the cars weren't in there, you could just crop just to those flowers.
There really are just like 3 sections to this image. There's flowers, there's cars, and there's sky.
Yeah. Yeah, you either shift over and shoot the road and get the cars and the building, shift a different way and get the flowers.
I mean, I kind of like the buildings too. I mean, that kind of looks kind of nice too.
Yeah.
Except for the cars.
Yeah.
Where was this taken? Does anyone know?
Ireland. Near Galway.
Four, 3, 4, 3, 4. Lots of 3s and 4s.
A vignette.
Yeah, well, almost every photo can use a vignette.
Yeah, but I like the detail that seems to be coming across.
And more cowbells. No one gets it.
There's nothing you can do with
that's
the
nice.
image that Jeff has, but I would either, if this is the image that's straight out camera, I would have shot it just a little wider at the top, so it's not touching the top, but it is really close to touching the top. That flower, the right flower.
Yeah.
I would give it just a little more room. So if this was a cropped image, I would just back the crop off just the hair. I either do that or I crop much harder into it.
Yeah. I want to flip it on its side, make it a vertical.
Rotated 90 degrees
Yeah.
left.
But I don't know.
Have the leaves on the left side.
Leaves are on the right.
Clockwise. No, the other way. And I know the grassy stuff's going to be on the. I want the green stuff on the bottom, yeah. But then.
Nah.
Nah.
Yeah, no, that's hard. Like with the okay.
Yeah.
With the
You
grass.
have to crop at the grass. The grass throws it.
Yeah, never mind. We need more green stuff up there. Replace it with the green stuff.
If we did this, but then oh, not far enough.
That kind of hides it.
Yeah. And I think it would be better there. Probably not as much of a vignette to keep. But I would probably also just darken this part up.
That helps.
That way you're seeing just the two flowers. All right.
Well, that's cool.
That is.
4, 3, 3, 2, 4, 4, 3. Well, everything. Thoughts?
I like this one. I would up the contrast just a bit, but I like the fact that it looks soft and hard at the same time.
Don't change anything.
My eye keeps going up to the upper left and upper right. And maybe it could be cropped down a little bit.
Mm,
Hmm.
no, well, and I think the spiral at the top was a little more obvious.
Yeah, it's just hard. This section tends to grab your eye. I don't know if a person.
Maybe a vignette to darken it just a
Yeah.
little.
Yeah, that could be.
Just enough to tone it down. Yeah,
Just
that probably does it.
Oh, yeah.
So now the brightness is in the center area, which brings you to the spiral.
Yeah. All right.
Maybe you'd wanna. Yeah, it's not bad though.
That's for those wondering, that's a Calatrava in Chicago. They just put that in within the last year.
No.
It's right on the river. Jeff, for this last one, can I share it from mine? Because I gave you the cropped image.
Sure.
There's just not much to do with this at this point. I've got the full image here, so
All right.
I can share my screen.
Go ahead.
Give me one second.
It's all yours.
And this will be our last one of the evening. Okay. You should be seeing the flower image in Lightroom. Yes? Okay.
Yep.
So this is the original image. So I'm curious what people think I should do with the original image. Now this is not the original straight out camera. This is edited, but it's not cropped the way that Jeff was just showing.
Right. I like the crop version.
Okay.
Yeah, the petals on the outside are so soft and the inside is so sharp that I think it really helps to play up that sharpness instead of the softness.
I think your initial instinct was right.
There was another view I thought too, is if you did rotate it clockwise, the bottom petals kind of look like a tie.
Actually, any of those shots looks pretty good.
You can hang it any
So it
direction.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like this angle right there because it's got kind of a movement, the way the petals, they look like they're
Yeah.
moving
Yeah.
in the circle.
The reason I struggle with this one is it's like right now it's not centered, but but it's not in a corner. Like it's like halfway everywhere. And I don't have enough room at the bottom to move it anywhere farther. So that's why I was just kind of curious.
I think that's the one.
Center composition.
Yeah. Move it just slightly more to the right.
This is the one that
I
I
like
started.
that one better.
So this is where I
Huh?
finished. This was my finished product. This is where I'm coming in.
I'm slightly off center person anyway. I just think it adds a little more dynamics. Can't speak anymore.
Well, then, like you said, my first instinct was probably the way to go.
Yeah.
So, and that's not what you're seeing. This is what I had settled on prior to the meeting anyway. So
got it.
Kind of like an eye of a tornado, an eye of a hurricane.
Your final instinct was right then. Let me rephrase that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Isn't
All
it
right.
similar to
Yes.
that Fibonacci curve or curl that they have?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that fits that same
Spiral.
pattern as well.
Turn it on.
So I said his buildings and his flowers have the same sort of essence and structure.
That's a good point. Hold on. Where's my camera club one? Not urban ecology. Here we go. Image review. Yeah, my two spiral images that I submitted.
Yeah.
Buildings and flowers. Same photos, just different subjects.
All right, you found your niche. Okay.
Now put the flower in the middle of that spiral.
Right.
Well, I know this is normally a little longer, but this was fun. So
Yeah, I think this ought to be something we do on a more regular basis. Yep. This is pretty informative. All right, guys.
Yeah, crop. Those are my words to leave you with.
Crop and vignette, right? Crop and vignette.
Crop and vignette, yeah.
All right.
Well, it was a great
right.
club tonight. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
I think we had a pretty good turnout as well.
Nice meeting our new some new people, so that's good.
I look forward to
right.
joining future meetings.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, Steve.
Well, thanks for the new people that showed up, Steve and others, and hope you come back. All right. I think that's it for tonight. Jeff, you have any remaining comments?
No.
No, all wrapped up.
We're pretty good. Can wrap it
All
up.
right.
Okay.
Good
night,
night,
all.
all. Thanks for being here.
Thanks everybody
All
for
right.
coming.